quick question and be honest. Do you study to pass exams or do you really study to understand? These two might look identical. Same desk, same arts, same books. But actually, after 5 years down the line, they might lead to altogether different lives. Why this difference and how it happens, let me tell you in today's session. Hello everyone, I am your Nidhi ma'am, a mentor who believes in you before you believe in yourself, and your future self sent me to find you. So let us understand what is a difference between a normal study and study to create a strong foundation. Why some students can crack IIT-JEE, why the others, even after studying hard, they are not able to crack these exams. Why toppers don't find the question really tough and another student struggling in the same question. What they actually do from class 6th and 7th, which the other students are not doing. So in today's session, I am going to reveal all these things because I have seen students struggling and also seen students who are not struggling, who are giving their best. And I have analyzed what is the difference between these two kids, what is the difference in their approach of study, though both of them are working hard, both of them spending time on their studies. So let us see and let us understand what is a normal study versus what is a IIT foundation study or a general science or maths foundation study. So what is a normal study? I am sure most of you are doing this, right? Your ultimate goal is to score good marks in your school exams. You are following the NCERT textbook. You are learning them again and again and writing the same thing in your rough notebooks or the practice notebooks. Direct questions which are being asked in the school, you are focusing on that, answering that on the regular basis. Very straightforward direct question, and you are just thinking, keeping it basic level, right? Again and again recalling the same question, the same concept, the same notes. Output, definitely you'll get good marks in the school, right? But understanding, I will say average understanding. Yes, the purpose that you had, scoring good in exam, that is being fulfilled, so that might give you an instant pleasure, right? But what actually, how the IIT foundation study is, the goal is to build a strong concept in the subject, a strong base, right? How do they study? Of course, they will also follow NCERT, but along with some additional books, additional content, right? The main focus is on understanding the concept and then applying the concept. Yes, problem solving, again, understanding the concept and then applying the concept. Question, not direct always, tricky, twisted, multiple concept base. That is the way the question should be solved. That level of questions are being solved by those students. Thinking, deep, analytical, critical, logical thinking they are developing. And of course, what is the output of this? They have clarity of concept. They have got the problem solving skill. They know why this formula works, why it is not working, where I can apply this formula and how to apply this formula, right? So the basic difference is actually in the mindset. Normal study mindset is the what mindset? What is the answer? They learn formula, tough question, no, I should only stick to school level question which can get me good marks in the school. Studying before the exam, memorizing the stuff, repeating the notes and again so that every line, every word should remain in my mind, right? Whereas the IIT foundation way of studying is, why is this formula? How I can use the same formula in some other question, what other way of solving the same question, right? So answer lies in why and how rather than just what. Understands the derivation, the behind the formula scene, right? Tough questions, they feel super excited, super good, adrenaline rush after seeing a tough question. Oh, why I'm not able to crack this? Why I am not able to get this question? Definitely regular study. Understanding the concept involving the visualization, not just cramming, not just repetitive mode of, going through the notes and again and again. Rather, the focus is on understanding that particular concept. So, let me show an example. Light chapter is there, right? Normal student will study as light travels in a straight direction. Light travels in a straight direction, that's it. They study, they read it from the books, they read it from their notes, and same they will write as a characteristic of light in their school exam. But how you can go into 5x deeper level in the same line, in the same statement, if your approach is right, right? So, why does light travel in a straight line? Reflection, refraction, lenses also, right? So, step by step you are going deep and deep. What is the real life application where I have seen this phenomena happening in my real life, day-to-day life? Now, how can I, use this concept cracking numericals and problem? The same one single statement that you all must have, read in your school textbooks or your notes, but you don't go beyond it. You don't think beyond that one statement. So you can further go into deeper at each level the time you spend on this one statement. That is the depth of learning. That will give you the, concept clarity, not just a statement. Yes, so same line, same chapter, but 5 times deeper learning. So that is the whole thing. Normal study, one method, one question, direct formula, 5-10 questions you are done per topic and you feel confident. Okay, I can score good in the school exam. Whereas there is not one direct way. Attacking a single problem, there are multiple ways. One same problem, you can crack it, solve it by thinking or by applying multiple concepts. And in fact, in JEE exam, there is JEE advanced exam. There are multiple concepts which are being applied in one question, right? So for that, because it is not single concept question, you need to have logic, you need to relate the various concepts, you should be fast in your, solving. So all that things, like you should solve starting from easy, then moderate, then higher order thinking skill question, the tough questions. So problem solving approach is also different. The pattern is different, the mindset is different, the problem solving approach is also different. So a normal study versus a IIT foundation study, at each level there is a difference. I have told you exactly what a normal study is for a student and what exactly the IIT foundation is, be it mindset, be it problem solving, right? Let's say another example, you have algebra and maths and normal, this is a, equation that you usually solve for x, right? This is a one variable equation that you solve in your school exams, for your school exams, right? So you just solve and figure out the x. Rather than thinking beyond calculating the value of x in this equation, how a student who is training his or her mind for, foundation, cracking the top rank in JEE, IIT, they see the equation, they try to plot it on a graph, applying on they just think, try to connect with the geometry, the shape, right? And what else can be asked? What else can be modified? What kind of question can be asked on this, right? So when you start thinking like that, now you start enjoying even the simple mathematical algebraic equation. Why don't you enjoy a subject? Because you are doing it just as a statement superficially, which you are expected to do, score good in school. You are not thinking beyond it. You are not getting involved with the question or the statement, right? So it is just that somebody is showing you a picture, but you are not involved. You are just seeing that picture just to get the good grades. Yes, science, most of the students in 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th grades, they are just memorizing the stuff in science without having the core understanding of the concept. I am sure the photosynthesis equation you must have seen. Yes, CO2 plus water and then this glucose and oxygen. I am very sure. Plants, photosynthesis, chlorophyll, chloroplast. So this is a statement you all must have done, read, right? The photosynthesis process, the chemical equation. But do you understand why is it happening? How is it happening? How the chloroplast is working? How it is converting that energy, right? What is the role of sunlight? Why this chemical energy is being, converted to this equation? Where is the energy conservation law? How this reaction is happening? You are not thinking, you are just reading it, cramming it as a photosynthesis equation. CO2 plus water gives glucose and O2. You don't know what is the role of chloroplast here. You don't know exactly why this is happening. What is the role of sunlight here? What is the energy conversion happening here? Is energy conserved here? Which energy is converting to which energy? You just simply read this equation as such, learn it, and you just recreate it, rewrite it in your school exam. Yes? Once you start going into the deep of this equation, you will never forget this equation, photosynthesis. If you go, if you start asking the question that the written here, once you start answering and asking these questions, you will never ever forget this equation. You are not supposed to recall it again and again, because it will always be there. Because once you understand the concept, the topic, you really need not to work again and again on the same. Why you need to revise notes multiple times? Because you are doing it superficially. You are just cramming it. You are focusing on rote knowledge. Once you understand the concept, it will remain forever. You will know this thing forever if you go into the deeper levels of photosynthesis. If you start asking why instead of what only. Yes? So, a normal student, a normal study is school exam centric, just to get good marks, good school, just to prove I am an intelligent student because I am getting good grades or good marks. So, normal students, their focus only, their core focus is only and only to get good marks in their school exam. Whereas the students who are preparing themselves for the exams like IIT, they get exposed to the multiple exam. Whatever exam they can give other than their school exam, which is asking beyond the school curriculum, they participate. They don't fear those exams. They participate to get the experience, to get the exposure, the knowledge, how the question can be asked, right, from the same concept, be it like Olympiad like NSO, IMO, NSCGS, or the other exam which are happening for the same grades, right? I'm sure in every school there are certain exam. Other than the school exam, the school promotes you to participate. Yes, and even if the school is not promoting the exam, there are certain exam any student can participate online. As I said, like Junior Science Olympiad, Maths Olympiad. So guys, this is the necessity, because the exposure of these exams other than your school exam will widen your horizon, your thought process. Same concept, how the question can be asked with why and how, not just the what thing, right? A normal student's study habits are also different. How they are different? Normal student goes to school, get the homework, do the homework, the only homework, the work that is being given to the student in the school, and then watch TV, mobile or whatsoever, and then sleep. The same loop going again and again. School homework, preparation for school exams, TV, mobile or any co-curricular activity, and then sleep. This is how a daily routine of a normal student in 6th, 7th, 8th grade. Yes, you are also following the same. Now let me tell you how a student who is preparing himself or herself for IIT to get the top rank in JEE exam is spending his or her day in 6th, 7th, 8th grade. Of course, they will do the homework, school homework, they are going to school. Now, they do the concept revision, they spend time on problem solving, they get exposed even the 5 questions per day, different questions on the same concept, beyond school curriculum, right? Thinking beyond the school curriculum, just digging deeper into the same concept which they are doing for their homework or in the school. Just 1 hour extra study, 45 minutes extra study, other than, what is being expected from them from school's perspective. They're just putting 1 hour additional, building the strong, and that 1 hour additional is going to make all the difference. The difference that you have in your mindset, the difference that you have in your daily routine, that will create the big, huge difference 4-5 years down the line. Yes. So the students, of course, who have this kind of cycle, the IIT Foundation type of study routine, they're already like 4-5 years ahead of their peer, right? They have a strong foundation. They build that thinking, problem solving skill over the time. You just cannot get these skills overnight or in a week or 2 or a month. These skills are built over time. Yes, so once they enter the class 11th zone, they don't panic. They're already comfortable with the thinking, with why and how kind of questions. They have come out of that what zone long back. It's not that in 11 they are coming out of that what zone and entering to why and how zone. They are already comfortable there. They have that confidence because they're already getting exposed to the competition, the level of question, the critical thinking, the twisted question, not the direct questions. Yes, so definitely that makes the whole lot of difference, and ultimately they'll end up in the top colleges after cracking all these top exams. Yes, this is a long journey, as I said. It is a long race, not a sprint. So don't take your JEE NEET foundation as a sprint. Take it as a long race. Yes, marathon race. So you are supposed to spend each day, every year in a very, output driven manner. Not just the cramming, not just mugging up the formulas, unnecessarily burdening your brain with the rote knowledge or the cramming. Once you start understanding each and every line, once you start asking, why is this happening? What is other way I can solve this problem? You will start enjoying the process. You will start enjoying the subjects. And once you start enjoying the subject, result is a consequence. Once you start treating your study as a fun, right, as a, brain exercise, you will start getting the ranks, be it in school or in, any competitive exams. So my only point is the way you are studying right now is going to make all the difference. Most of you are doing a normal study. Same time, same books. I want you to spend the same time, but with a different form of study, the IIT-JEE foundation study. I have told you the difference. The mindset level difference, the problem solving level difference, all the difference. Same time both the students are investing, but ultimately both of them will get different results, right? So don't think that class 6 is too early. No. I am not pushing you towards any, exhaustive preparation. No, it's just the mindset. It is just how you are studying even for your school. The best age to develop your thinking, critical thinking. Yes, just focusing on school marks, just focusing on studying for school marks, that is not the correct way of studying. Now, you are not working as per your potential. You have a lot of tremendous potential, my dear kids. You are just simply, underusing that potential. You have so much of curiosity. As I always give this example, you must have seen a toddler, right? By nature, they're like, God has made us curious. The toddlers who just started to, talk, they ask a lot of questions, so many questions because they are naturally curious. Once they start growing, with every passing year, this curious toddler becomes more quiet, asking lesser questions just because he is put into a setup where he is just studying or cramming the stuff to get good marks in school. So all that curiosity, all that why start diminishing. Yes, by nature, we are a curious being, guys. We are a curious being. So just stay curious. You'll start enjoying the process. Yes. So if you start studying in this manner, you will reduce the stress once you'll be in 11th. You know how to study to get the best output. And the study will be fun. I remember one of my students, like he bagged gold medal twice, not just once, in International Biology Olympiad. I asked him, he started his journey when he was in 8th. I asked him, how could you do so much? Even student asked me to ask this question from that particular child who bagged gold medals and he cracked JEE, he cracked NEET exam. So I asked him, how do you manage all this along with your school exam, performing good in school also? Then he gave me that answer that really resonates with me. I'm not studying. I'm enjoying studying. Once you start enjoying the study, once you start enjoying the subject, it just flows, right? It's not something extra you are doing. It's not an extra effort, ma'am. I'm by nature because I'm enjoying that subject. I'm so much involved in that subject. I really enjoy. I don't take it as a, something I need to invest my energy in. I'm supposed to do this or that. No, by default, I'm liking it. I'm enjoying the time with this subject. So that type of enjoyment you should develop, and that can be developed in your 6th, 7th, 8th grade. Because in 11th, you will be under a lot of pressure. Syllabus completion, competition is there. ultimate target you are seeing JEE is there, everyone is chasing that race. You don't have time to fall in love with the subject, right? So just make sure result is a consequence. Start studying the right way. Not just study to pass, just study to understand. Once you start understanding the concept, as I said, JEE top rank, NEET top rank, Olympiad qualify, everything will happen eventually. Just switch your mindset. It's not about working really hard day and night to get the top rank in IIT or JEE from grade 6, 7th, 8th. It is always about studying smart, not studying more. The same time, same books, same study table, but just the shift in mindset, just shift in how we perceive the question will make all the difference, right? So from today, I really want you to start studying the IIT foundation way, not the normal way, right? So just make sure you comment in the video section that you are also, from now, this is the task. From now, from today, you just have that mindset shift that you are studying the IIT foundation way, not just the normal way. Don't worry, you will get good marks in school also, right? I've never in my 16 years, I've never met a kid who's not doing good in school but doing good in all the exams or the JEE or the Olympiads. Yes? So just evolve, just train yourself on correct way of studying. That will yield you good result in all the exams. Yes? So it is just the training, just to tell your brain this is the right way to study. Yes? So the last and final thought, my dear kids, marks fade but concept stays forever. Right? Whatever is your aim, be it IIT, NEET, MIT or any big dream, right? So the strong foundation that you build in grade 6, 7th or 8th, that is the secret weapon. That is the secret weapon, honestly. That will make all the difference. Yes? So start small, stay consistent, think deep. Yes? Thank you so much. And if you are also 6th, 7th, 8th grader and curious child and want to understand how you can train yourself, how you can, shape up your future, just write in the comment. Bye, take care, God bless you all, keep learning, keep growing, bye-bye, and do not forget, if you are watching this video, that means your future self sent me to find you. So take the best out of it. Thank you.